Hey everybody, my name is Geneva and you are officially in Geneva's Closet. Hey everybody, I hope my lighting is good because I got some very good information for you. So I hope you can see me and you can hear me just fine. You see my shirt says quiet please because I need your undivided attention. Now let's just go back. So remember how this whole thing got started, right? So let's just rewind it back. This whole thing with Mary Harvey, Steve Harvey, and Essie Berry. What is this all about? Remember what I told you from the other videos? It all started with Essie about to do a reality show and bringing Mary along, okay? And then Mary said there was things that she couldn't talk about. Essie said, why? She said, because there's a gag order. Essie said, what's on the gag order? What can and can you not say? Mary said, I'm not sure. Essie did a little investigation and she said she found out some corruption was going on. There were illegal gag orders even put against her. Steve Harvey even tried to put a gag order against her. Why? Because Essie was going around making YouTube videos saying certain things. What was she saying? She was saying that Steve Harvey played Mary, that he did not give her what she deserved out of her divorce, and that he had her arrested illegally twice, and one time was for failure to pay child support that she wasn't even ordered to pay, and then one time was for contempt of court for a gag order, and then Essie had gag orders put against her. It's just crazy, just all gag orders and don't talk about anything, and don't talk to TMZ and National Enquirer and be quiet and all of this. And what was all of this for? Because Steve Harvey didn't want them to talk. He didn't want them to talk about what? His relationship with Mary Harvey and their divorce. Why? I don't know. I guess it was something in the divorce or in the divorce papers. So then there's mention of there's a divorce decree. Well, where's the divorce decree? Well, Mary said that she had never even seen the divorce decree. Really? Y'all got a divorce 12 years ago, back in 2005. It's 2017, and you have never seen a divorce decree. Well, it's something huge going on, because then we find out that the divorce decree is a sealed document within the Texas court. Really? But Mary, you were the one that got the divorce with Steve, and you can't even get it to see it? This is crazy. What is in this divorce decree? What is going on so serious that Steve Harvey done slapped the gag order on Mary and had her arrested, and then even tried to put one on Essie because he feel like she's talking too much about what? About this divorce. What the hell happened in the divorce? Now, we've heard Mary say that she didn't get everything that she was supposed to get. He threw her out of the home that she was supposed to be awarded in their divorce. And even when that was so, she didn't get all the money for it. She said that she got $40,000 for 10 months, which came up to $400,000. I remember hearing her say that in the video with the white outfit. Did y'all not see her in the video with the white outfit? I remember her specifically saying that. And then she said something about the interest of the home and how Steve did it or something. She didn't really get the full amount for the home once it was sold. And then she said her son Winton was snatched from her and he wasn't supposed to be. He was supposed to be with her. That's why when Steve said that, or when the court said that she violated a court order for child support, it was like, really? Because Winton was supposed to be with her, wasn't even supposed to be with Steve. She said Steve came and scooped them up right from up under her and took him, and he's been with Steve the whole time. Really? Well, where's the divorce decree? Why can't we see this in the divorce decree? Because they said it was sealed, people, because they said it was sealed. So can no one get to it? No one. Except Geneva of Geneva's Closet. Now let's get down to some reality. Well, let me tell you, people. So on Thursday evening, what's this Thursday? I'm sorry, this was Friday evening, because I was doing some research, because I can be a little nosy sometimes. So I was just doing some research, looking up some things, properties or whatever the Steve Harvey and Mary Harvey supposedly owned, because I was trying to figure out, like, what exactly property was she talking about that she owned, that she didn't get the full amount from. And during my research, it was about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, Geneva of Geneva's Closet hit the jackpot. And when I seen it, people, I said, is this the jackpot? This couldn't possibly be the jackpot. Because how did Geneva of Geneva's Closet find it? And what did I find, you ask? Well, I found a breakdown of Steve Harvey and Mary Harvey's assets in their divorce. I'm telling you, people, it's talking about life insurance policies, trust funds, yachts, cars, estates, millions of dollars. I mean, everything is on here. It's 26 pages of court documents of all the assets that was supposed to be divvied up in their divorce. It names what Mary was supposed to get, what Steve was supposed to get. It names insurance policies, what they wasn't supposed to get, what they were supposed to pay off, what Steve was supposed to do. And let me just tell you, people, when I was reading through this information, I knew instantly why these gag orders were thrown on people. You know what it proved? It proved that ESSIE was in line. And it proved that Mary Harvey was in line. The whole time that Mary said that she did not get what she was supposed to get in her divorce, she was right. And when ESSIE was going out there making these videos saying, I'm trying to tell y'all that he played her and he's slapping her with gag orders and putting her in jail and all of this is fraud. And that he was saying that ESSIE was a co-conspirator and that she was trying to extort money from him. And based on my other videos that y'all seen, if you watch the other videos, you see me talk about that whole extortion thing and how that whole thing was just what was the evidence on extortion, Steve? You had not broke that down. She tried to, but anyway, back to this, because this is just so much juicy. Let me just say this. When I read the documents, you can tell that a lawyer had got a hold to these documents. So I don't know if Mary, in the process of their divorce, or what happened, or after the divorce when she realized that she hadn't got what she was supposed to get, had she took her divorce papers and sent them to a lawyer, and a lawyer obviously went over the papers because they made a lot of notations, made notations of Steve being in contempt of court, where certain documents at, deeds are missing. I mean, this 26 pages goes into specifics. But let me just read you a few things that it says. So the first page say request modification. It is my belief that Mr. Harvey knowingly and willingly lied to me as well as to the courts. Mr. Harvey did not fully disclose assets, lied about the status of the yacht, $800,000 did not include or list all companies, because it talks about businesses too, people, all the businesses. I mean, it gives a breakdown. I mean, cars. It was like 50 some cars. Let me just go back to this. And then it says, see list of all companies. And then it says, Ricky Anderson. Now, who is Ricky Anderson? He is the attorney for Steve Harvey. It says Ricky Anderson, conflict of interest. He was in other business deals with Steve, legal malpractice. Incorporated the companies for the Harveys, represented Mary Harvey in the divorce, then turned around and dropped her and represented Steve. It says Ricky Anderson nickname was City, then this a blank line. He and Steve set up Big City. Now, Big City is Big City Enterprises. And how do I know that? Because I've actually seen that name before, Big City Enterprises. And what did I see it in? I actually seen the name Big City Enterprises in the court documents that Terry Smith filed against Steve Harvey. And if you can remember, Terry Smith is the lady. If you remember the other videos that I told you, that he carried the 9-year relationship on with when he was married to Mary Harvey. Remember I told you about Terry Smith? I'm going to throw the picture up there right quick so you can see it. But But let me go back to Terry Smith court documents and let me read to you what she said about Big City Enterprises. But before I do, let me read this in this divorce decree information one more time. Ricky Anderson, nickname was City Something. He and Steve set up Big City, which is Big City Enterprises. Now, let me tell you what Terry said about Big City Enterprises in her lawsuit against Steve Harvey. She says right here, number 13 in the lawsuit, just because I'm going to put the link up here so y'all can go and check out her court documents so you can see it for yourself. Number 13, it says, upon information and belief, Big City Enterprises, Inc. is the alter ego of Mr. Harvey. And this was established by Mr. Harvey's attorney, Ricky Anderson, to protect Mr. Harvey's image and serve as buffer between Mr. Harvey and various third parties. Did you hear what I said? Because also in these court documents, it's mentioned where is Big City Enterprises. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a thing like, where's Big City Enterprises? And right here, Terry Smith is talking about corruption with Big City Enterprises. Okay, so let me go on. Just like I said, this is 26 pages, so I'm pulling things up out of here. Another thing that I noticed that I found to be very interesting, it says every time Mary filed, Ricky Anderson notified, and then there's a blank line. Notified who? Notified Steve. Let's go with Steve. Notified Steve. He was alerting to move money. He broke client's confidentiality agreement. So somebody was moving some money every time, well, this is what this is alleging, that money was being moved every time Mary filed probably a motion to try to figure out what was going on. Oh, right here it says, where is Big City Enterprises with like 3 question marks. Not limited to, what it does is it's doing a breakdown of Steve Harvey businesses, and there's a lot of businesses. See, so we only know about, heard of the Hoodie Awards or Steve Harvey Show or whatever, but actually he has a lot of businesses. And in the midst of the businesses, it says, where is Big City Entertainment? Right, because we know that it's there, but for some reason that particular business was not named in the divorce decree. It is ordered and decreed that the ex-wife Mary Lee Harvey is awarded the following as her sole and separate property, and the husband is divested of all rights, titles, and claims, and some other words it uses. And then I see the lawyer says he has not provided to Mary Lee Harvey the quitclaim deed to this particular property. Each year, he, Steve, does not pay the taxes until the very last possible day, knowing the medical condition of his ex-wife, and has not provided her with the quitclaim deed. Then it goes on to say, which cause extreme stress, affects the health and medical condition of Mary L. Harvey, appears unreliable, possible excess fees assessed, which cause unwarranted issues. Broderick Steve Harvey has not paid Mary L. Harvey any of the money required by the court order divorce decree. Let me read that again. For all the people that say that she did get what she was supposed to get, and Mary, she just, she just a woman scorned, and ESSIE Berry is just on YouTube rambling on and on and on, and Steve is telling the truth, and they're lying. Because Steve is putting it out there. Remember that smear campaign that he said that that they're doing against him? I think that's kind of reversed, because he's been calling them, saying that they've been lying and extortions and co-conspirators the whole time, throwing people in jail. But it says right here, Broderick Steve Harvey has not paid Mary L. Harvey any of the money required by the court order divorce decree. Then it goes on to say, due to his actions, Mary has not had the funds necessary to maintain the properties awarded to her in the divorce. Broderick Steve Harvey has breached the agreement. He has not sold any of the properties as required in the divorce decree, nor has he paid her the money for the property as suggested in the divorce decree. And it names a second property, people. So not just the one, it names two. So now we're talking about a second property. They're talking about two in Texas. He has not, because it goes on to say, like, the attorney wasn't done after he looked over all of this. He still had more things to say about these court documents of this divorce decree. Each year, he does not pay the taxes until the very last day possible day, knowing the medical condition of his ex-wife. And then it goes on to say, it says a lot, but I'm just reading you the things that kind of stuck out. A lot of things stuck out to me, but I'm just trying to read you things to give proof to what Mary and what ESSIE was saying. Then it goes on to say the sum of $40,000. Remember that $40,000 that she was talking about? Now we're going to get into that $40,000. The sum of $40,000 shall be paid by Broderick S. Harvey to Mary Lee Harvey and mailed to Mary Harvey at, and it gives a Texas address, commencing the first day of the month following the signing of this final order by the court and continuing on the first day of each month thereafter, guaranteed for 1 year until the property, and it names the property, are sold and or Broderick S. Harvey obtains loans for the amount of $1,500,000 to Mary Lee Harvey, whichever occurs first. Now, it's saying that he needs to either pay her $40,000 a month or pay her $1.5 million. But it says, and or Broderick S. Harvey obtains loans for the amount of $1,500,000. So when I read that, I was like, obtain loans? Like, what does that mean? But then all I had to do was just continue on reading, because then it says, Steve Harvey claims financial hardship. Ain't that something? At the time that it's time for him to marry, to divorce his wife, now all of a sudden financial hardship. But this is what he said to the courts, to the Texas courts. Steve Harvey claims financial hardship and needed to see property to pay his debts. That's what it said. Again, Steve Harvey misrepresented to the court, purchased 5 homes immediately, was remarried to the new wife in a 5-level, $4 million home. Then it says that he owes her spousal support and alimony. Do you want me to read that again? I'll read that again for you, just in case you didn't get that. It says Steve Harvey claims financial hardship and needed to see property to pay his debt. Maybe that meant sell, or see or sell property. But again, Steve Harvey misrepresented to the court, purchased 5 homes immediately, was remarried to the new wife in a 5-level, $4 million home. But you can't just pay your ex-wife the $1.5 million that you should be giving her. That's why the payments were broken up into $40,000, because it was either $40,000 until the sale of the property, or you can just go ahead and pay her the $1.5 million. But since he was claiming like he didn't have any money, he did the $40,000 a month. It says the Willow Bend property shall be sold through a licensed real estate agent. It is further offered that all proceeds from the sale of the property shall be awarded to Mary Lee Harvey. If the property is sold for an amount less than $4,250,000, it is ordered that Broderick S. Harvey shall pay to Mary Lee Harvey the amount of $1 million according to the following terms. Then it says Broderick S. Harvey shall pay to Mary Lee Harvey $10,000 a month, with the first payment being due and payable on the first day of the month following the sale of the Willow Bend property, and a like payment being due and payable on the first of each month thereafter, until the entire amount of taxes determined at closing are paid in full to Mary Lee Harvey. when I did a little research on where this information came from, because like I said, I just happened to see it sitting on a website. It was kind of sitting there almost in like a PDF. And I wasn't even going to click it, but something told me to click it. And when I did, then bam, like I said, these 26 files came up of divorce decree. So it was exactly click it, and that's the first thing that popped up. And I was kind of looking through like, are these the actual divorce decree? And that's when I noticed that it was the information from the courthouse, but it had been forwarded to an attorney, and an attorney had been going through the documents and making notations of different things that they seen that had went wrong. Well, after I looked further over the documents, bam, I seen it right here. It was a letter to Mary Harvey from Gold and Ratner. So I'm assuming that those are some attorneys. That's an attorney office. Then it mentions something too about some insurance policies that I guess it mentions an insurance policy and trust funds for not only Winton, but for Mary's oldest son. Because for those of you that didn't know, she has an older son, if I'm not mistaken, his name is Steve or Steven. So there's a trust fund or an insurance policy or something that was supposed to be set up for both of the children. So that's in there too. And right here, it says Steve recently signed his estate planning documents. As part of Steve's estate plan, he has established 2 insurance trusts, one in the Harvey Family Insurance Trust to hold $1 million in life insurance for the benefit of his father and his siblings, and the other, Harvey, another one, to hold $2 million in life insurance for the benefit of all of Steve's children. Since you are the co-trustee of these trusts, please sign all 3 copies of both trusts. Well, I guess she's supposed to have, being a resident of Texas, a community property state, you are deemed to own 50% of the insurance policies on Steve's lives. What? Who knew? Did she get that? I don't think so. And then it says, we are also in the process of preparing a will and trust for you, and will forward it to you shortly for your review. And then it says, any questions, call me, and it gives some names. So I'm assuming that these are the attorneys. These documents were handed over to them, maybe by Mary. I don't fully know, but handed over for them to check out, because maybe she was feeling like things wasn't being done right. Maybe this is the time that she got some lawyers. I don't know, but I know that Steve Harvey and everybody have been talking about that these are sealed documents and you can't talk about it. And if you talk about it, you're going to get a gag order or be in contempt of court and all of this stuff. Well, let me just tell you something, Broderick Steve Harvey. There can't be no gag order today, boo-boo. There cannot be a contempt of court. You can't go get Mary Harvey. You can't bother ESSIE because Miss Geneva found this on the web. So you might have to go sue the World Wide Web. You might want to go sue them, right? Because I don't know what else to tell you. And because the information has been put in my hands, I was very happy to get this, because the first thing I'm thinking about is that this is going to clear ESSIE's and Mary's name, because people are just talking about they're crazy. Mary's just crazy and she's a scorned woman. This lady know if she got what she was supposed to get or not. If she did, then she would have sat back, fell back, and she good. She know, and she been telling people the whole time. And when she told ESSIE went and did some research and found out, girl, you know what? You did not get what you were supposed to get. And she went on YouTube blasting it. Steve got pissed because y'all sitting up here running up at the mouth. Stop talking about this divorce. Leave it alone. It's done. Mary, you not gonna, your son is older now. You ain't gonna get your son back. Them years is gone. This is what Steve is trying to think in his head. Probably, it's done, boo-boo. It's done. You're not getting it. I done moved on. You move on. Then you get married to somebody else. Take your new husband and move on with your life. But obviously, she was still pissed. And she should be pissed because she spent 12 years of her life in this relationship with this man. Not saying she was perfect, because no one is perfect, but the fact of the matter is that they was together or married for 12 years, and then they had a son together. You don't treat nobody like that, and then let the record show that she was with him before He even became famous. Really? So she was with you, and based on her story, she said that she was with you while y'all were running up to gas stations, pumping gas, putting the gas, jumping in the car, zooming off. She was with you while y'all barely had any money to eat, and y'all trying to scramble up to get money to eat because you on the road going with him while he going to his comedy auditions and doing his thing. Was with you from the beginning, and you played her like this, and then she get out and she get to talk, and you start throwing people in jail. Gag orders because you mad. Why? Because you don't want nobody to talk about this. Why? Because you know you was wrong, because it's all in there. And based on what these attorneys said and all of these little notations, oh man, you was held in contempt of court a long time ago. Matter of fact, based on this information, you was held in contempt of court just based on the whole child situation. Just by Winton, he was held in contempt of court. Because let me read this to you. Warnings to parties: failure to obey a court order for child support or for possession of or access to a child may result in further litigation to enforce the order, including contempt of court. A finding of contempt may be punishable by confinement in jail for up to 6 months, a fine of up to $500 for each violation, and a money judgment for payment of attorney's fees and court costs. Failure of a party to make a child support payment to the place and the manner required by a court order may result in the parties not receiving credit for making the payment. Failure of a party to pay child support does not justify denying that party court order possession of or access to a child, does not justify failure to pay court order child support to that party. Now, let me tell you what the attorneys put in here. The attorneys put, any person who knowingly represents for enforcement an order that is invalid. Steve and Child are now residents of the state of Georgia, I guess meaning that Steve took Winton from Mary. And then it says, Steve has constantly denied access for visitation to Mary. See that alone is contempt of court. We ain't even, let's say that we ain't even divvied up money. We haven't went through properties and trust funds and cars and homes and insurance policies. We haven't even did that yet. We're going to just stick with the child support part of it. Now, we all know that Winton was with his mom, okay, and that's how it was supposed to be. And Steve Harvey was supposedly supposed to pay $1,000 a month in child support, and which I think I seen that in here. But anyway, that's what he was supposed to pay. So you didn't even pay that, contempt of court, because you were supposed to pay that. You're supposed to pay that and still see your son. So it's not like she denied you your son. You can still see your son, but you're supposed to pay the $1,000 child support. Okay, whatever. So he snatched the son from Mary, and now he has the son, and he not paying anything. Okay, so we'll just go with that. You denied her son. She couldn't even see him. You was playing games with Winton. She was trying to make phone calls and call him, and she couldn't even talk to him, or it sounded like if she was talking to him, like he was only able to say certain things. Maybe somebody was on the phone listening. I don't know, but that's in contempt. No, failure of a party to pay child support does not justify denying that party court order possession of or access to a child. Refusal by party to allow possession of or access to a child does not justify failure to pay child support. Just because the person didn't pay child support, that don't mean that you can deny them the child. And just because you are denied, the person is denying you the child, that does not mean that you shouldn't be paying child support. Either way, contempt. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't even fully got to go through the documents, but we did. So now you know what this verifies. Like I said, that they was in line. Where were the other media people? Y'all couldn't find this on your own. It took little bitty old Geneva of Geneva's Closet to do basic research. I want to let you know this is coming exclusive from Geneva's Closet that I have found the court documents of Steve Harvey's and Mary Harvey's divorce decree broken down. That means that all of these media companies, all of y'all owe ESSIE, Barry, and Mary Harvey an apology and marry Harvey now that this information is out there. Girl, you better take this information and run with it, girl. You better give us a ring-a-ding-ding. You better be talking to ESSIE and get some information, boo, and take that information to the courts and do your thing. Because can't nobody say Geneva got anything from sealed documents, because I don't even know how to get the sealed documents. I don't even know. I don't even live in Texas. I'm in the Chicagoland area. There's no way that I went there. I have the source where it came from, and the source is the World Wide Web. Check it out, it's there. It's been there the whole time. But this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet, reporting to you, the news people, letting you know what's going on, and telling all these media companies, y'all owe them an apology. Y'all need to retract everything. The murdering of the soul. Yes, he did murder her soul. When you get done looking at all these millions of dollars that's played out in this divorce decree, and this lady didn't get nothing, played her on the property and stuff, gave her some $40,000 payments here and there, you know, just kind of play. Yes, her soul was snatched. Her son, oh, I think her soul was broken. I think it had been murdered. And you all said that trying to discredit ESSIE and try to discredit Mary. Oh, first of all, kudos to ESSIE Berry. Don't we got to give kudos to ESSIE? Didn't she get this whole thing rolling? Did she not get this whole thing rolling? Did she not put these videos up on YouTube and get us to listen? Wasn't she blasting and saying what she had to say? And even though they were calling her co-conspirator and saying that she was extorting money and trying to scare her, did she not keep talking? Even when all the media places, come on medias, come on bloggers, even when all y'all tried to play her and Mary and make it seem like that they were lying, crazy, rambling black women that don't know how to leave things alone and they just probably want a little extra money in their pockets, didn't she just keep on coming on here talking? Didn't she? Kudos to her. That's why I did what I did. When I met ESSIE, when I seen ESSIE videos on YouTube, I was very interested because she came with papers and facts and she knew exactly what she was talking about. She had dates. She ain't even got paid for this. Mary ain't paid her anything for all of this work that she done did and getting her name totally dragged through this whole thing. This lady ain't got paid one red cent. But she's a very sweet lady. Even though she gonna tell you how she feels, she don't give a damn how you feel about it. In the midst of that, she's a very sweet lady because she doing all of this for free just because she care enough. Because she could have been like, oh, look, Bo, I'm just trying to do a reality show. You got a gag order. Well, then maybe next time. Maybe once you clear that whole thing up, maybe one day we can. But that ain't what she did. It was something about It's something about ESSIE. It's something about she's a strong, brave woman. So yes, I went and I found that information, but I found that information because of her, because of me listening to her and seeing how strong she was and how dedicated she was and me feeling like the things that she was saying was honest. If I felt like she was lying, then I would have been like, I'm not finna get wrapped up into this whole thing. I'm just trying to get an interview to get on there and say whatever she gonna say. But I knew she was telling the truth by the things that she was saying. And I just had a feeling that I don't know if 100% of the things that Mary is saying is correct, but I just have a feeling that she's not lying about her saying that Steve played her. And the fact that Steve is going through such great lengths to quiet these ladies and don't say nothing to nobody, just had to let you know that something bigger was going on and it was something that he didn't want you to see. That's why I kept saying, why? Why did he want y'all to be quiet? But why the gag orders? Why he didn't hit you with defamation of character? Because defamation would mean that y'all lying. Sue them for defamation of character then. Like wouldn't that have been easier? But he didn't want to do that. Why? Because he was lying. That's okay. Y'all seen it up there. Y'all seen them snippets. Because I was putting snippets of the information on there. So you see it. This is Geneva of Geneva's Closet. Make sure you go follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Geneva's Closet. That's with the S, Geneva's, and 2 T's Closet. Make sure you go check out my website at Geneva's Closet, ENT.com. We cracked this one open, didn't we, people? We cracked this one open. Thank you to all the supporters that has been supporting ESSIE and Mary during this time that everybody want to talk about them and call them crazy. But again, this is Geneva's Closet reporting the news to y'all. This breaking news Y'all have a good day. Bye.
Calling in Chicago, calling about Lil Wayne and Birdman. If this Mac Main man was able to get Birdman and Lil Wayne to talk, then that's great. But if I was Lil Wayne personally, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with someone that I've been knowing as a child, looked at you as a father, then you went and took large amounts of my money, got a new artist, kind of flaunted the new artist around in my face. Then your artist had an audacity to say that he was going to come out with a Carter 6 album. Then later on took it, flipped it, and said that he was going to do that in tribute to me. That, absolutely, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with it. In my opinion, Lil Wayne and Birdman would probably need to fill it with a kiss in order for me to feel happy about the situation.
Wow, Geneva, boy, you make a point there.
Birdman better not hear that.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne,
that was, again,
Wayne, Birdman better
you guys are better